Rejoice, everyone. We're back with another Sekhie Reacts to Fate. This week, Lu Bu and his entourage.
Which is technically only 2 servants based on the historical stories, right? Because T.H.E doesn't have a servant, right?
Who?
T.H.E.
T.H.E. Is that red hair? The horse?
One of the 4 beauties of China? The Romance of the Three Kingdoms? The 4 famous beauties?
I didn't put that name on my list.
Literally. The most important character created for him in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms? The part that makes it the Romance of the Three Kingdoms when it comes to him?
I'm sorry, I didn't actually read the Romance of the Three. I've never read it in my life. I've only skimmed over the notes of that war. My notes on Lu Bu are very, very bare bones this time because, whew.
The details of his life, dramatized and fictitious, including his romance with the fictional maiden T.H.E.
I mean, we definitely should go into T.H.E. I left a lot of this to you.
Okay.
But yeah, she's not really going to come up today. Otherwise, I probably looked into her a little bit more. Or looked into the Romance of the Three Kingdoms in more detail.
I am calm. I am chill.
See, this is why I pawned off the history section to you entirely.
Motherfucker! How you gotta think? Okay.
Look, it's more fun this way. I actually learned something.
It's a literary reference!
Teach me, oh wise Sekhie sensei.
That somehow sounds so insincere. I feel like I'm being mocked. Mocked, I tell you. Mocked!
I want you to know my knowledge of the Three Kingdoms comes from just seeing the Fate characters and the designs of some of them in Dynasty Warriors. This is not Warring States period where I actually know these figures and their history pretty well.
This is not even the same country!
No, I know. I'm just talking about a different warring period. Like, I know all my military generals and the reasons and the exchanges in the Warring States period and the rivalries. I don't know that for the Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Okay. For some reason I don't know. I thought T.H.E would come up. Okay. Alright. Actually, I do kind of want to start with the Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Go right ahead.
So, in China in the 14th century, there was a historical novel written called The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Now, The Romance of the Three Kingdoms is a dramatization of what happened during the Three Kingdoms period, and it's based on the record of the Three Kingdoms, I think. I think that's what it's called. Is it's based on the Record of the Three Kingdoms by Chen Zhuo. So that's where we get most of the actual historical evidence of Lu Bu.
Retroactively, T.H.E might come up a little bit.
Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, so Chen Zhuo's records of the Three Kingdoms, together with several other historical texts, like the books of later Han, Wei Lue, and the Book of Jin, were used as a basis for the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Now, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms is one of the great classical novels of Chinese literature, and it is one of the most well-known novels, like historical novels that was written in China, obviously. And not even just being part of the 4 great classical novels, but like just in general, this is an incredibly well-known work that's still featured in curriculum, and there are dramas being made about this constantly. Would you like to share with the class the fact that I was correct and T.H.E would come up?
It's a very brief mention, and I didn't catch it in my first run through the notes, but it was a note that I remembered kind of subconsciously. I just quickly added that to my notes. I didn't forget again.
Okay.
Or not that I forget again, I didn't forget.
But essentially, the Record of the Three Kingdoms, or the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, tells a very dramatized, fictitious version of the events that follow, adding in, obviously, romance, where it was not really present in the earlier historical records, and introducing characters specifically designed to push said romances. One of them being T.H.E, who was the consort of Lu Bu. in the story. Although he did also have 2 wives in the story as well. One based on his historical wife, and another one after that.
Never mind, T.H.E won't come up.
I need a stress ball for this episode.
Look, we just need something worthless to crush.
I swear to fucking God. I will crush you. Before I crush that. Okay. Liu Bu is part of several different stories in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Keep in mind, it is kind of an anthology-style novel wherein there are different stories following different groups of characters. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms also features stories with Zhuge Liang in them. So, yay! Lord Ameloy II, pseudo-servant?
Yeah.
Pseudo-servant written mention. Ya boy Kong Ming! I hate that I had to check with you when I got it right. I was like, pseudo-servant? Pseudo-servant. I should have just known that. But there's the demi-servants, and then the pseudo-servants, and the... There's too many different types of servants that aren't just servants.
Look, pseudo-servants are when the personality is in the host. Zhuge Liang, despite the fact that it's largely Ameloy, is in the Zhuge Liang servant.
Mm-hmm.
Demi-servants are when the host is just borrowing the full power of the personality, with very limited influence from the personality. Now, I only am willing to give this little explanation right now up because this is going to be on the test later.
I don't want it to be on the test later. Alright, so I was a heavily featured literary character. His literary attributes do not remove his flaws, right, that are present even in the historical text. So something to note about Liu Bu, right, and the reason why he's Liu Bu Feng Xian is a courtesy name. So the reason why Liu Bu, he has a pretty interesting reputation, both in historical record and in the fictional records, because across both, it remains true that he's generally hot-headed, not very good at controlling and commanding his troops, and just in general, not really a very wise leader, and someone who's kind of willing to jump into things without always considering them, which would eventually lead to his downfall.
Hey, you want to take a crack at what his class is going to be?
Berserker? Was I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think have I had a chapter yet with Liu Bu in it? Isn't he in Septum tangentially?
He is in Septum. Not a major character, but he is there.
Okay. Have I seen Chen Gong?
You have not seen... You might have pulled him and seen him like on the Friend Point summon, but you have not seen Chen Gong much.
Chen Gong is one of Liu Bu's advisors in the historical record as... that's one of his advisors. And one of the people who's related to him. He does also show up in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. However, in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, he's given a much more positive role in the story than he actually had, according to the historical record. And then the notable things about T.H.E, I guess we don't know a whole ton about her, and there's not that much that I need to mention about her, but I thought she would come up more because she's one of China's 4 beauties. And we've talked about China's 4 beauties before in previous videos.
Look, Fate's got to hold some of these characters for future works.
I know, I just thought that we'd maybe have like a single image or something of T.H.E.
Not that I saw.
Okay, alright.
I'll take a quick look to see if I miss anything while you go through your history.
It's fine. It's just sad that we don't, because that would have been a fun thing to have. Let's make sure to place ourselves in the accurate time period. From what we know about Liu Bu, he was likely born before the year 161, and he was executed in 199. So this puts us pretty firmly inside a specific time period. And during the largely a lot of the things that he was involved in took place during the reign of the warlords Yuan Shu, Yuan Shao, Zhang Yang, and Cao Cao. Cao Cao. And we've actually talked about some of these characters before, like mentioned them in previous videos. So there are 2 official historical records of Liu Bu. The first I've already discussed is Record of the Three Kingdoms. And the other one is the Book of Later Han, which was compiled in the 5th century. So neither was compiled contemporaneously. There's at least 100 and something year gap between his life and the writing of any biographies about him. We also have virtually no descriptions of the way that he looked at all in these biographies, although in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms they say that he was dignified and majestic, with hair pulled back in a golden headpiece, and that his battle robe was covered in flowery patterns, and he had belt with the image of a lion on it that he wore. So since we don't have any actual descriptions of him, hopefully some of that will be referenced in his fate design, since he is incredibly famous from Romance of the Three Kingdoms. So it'd be nice if they incorporated some of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms description of him into his character. That would be nice. What?
Nothing. Always assuming I'm judging.
Always.
Yeah, I'm judging you.
I was gonna say, are you never not? That's kind of how this friendship works.
I'm not always judging you. I don't even judge you most of the time. I'm judging you now, though.
What for? What for? I am being bullied.
See, I think the problem is, whenever you take a long, silent drink of your Diet Dr. Pepper, I always kind of give you a look, just kind of like...
It's not Diet Dr. Pepper.
See, now I'm judging you. What is it?
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Cream Soda.
Even better. See,
it's the Velociraptor can.
See, whenever you take a long drink of your Dr. Pepper, your Diet Dr. Pepper, or your Dr. Pepper in general, usually I feel like it precedes you turning to me and thinking I'm judging you. So I've been trained to turn to you and wait for you to make the accusation to me or try to be like, what? What?
So I've created a circular dilemma.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that. Liu Bu was from what is present-day Inner Mongolia, and when Inspector at the time, Ding Yuan, was appointed as cavalry commandant, he was recruited as one of his officers. A few years after this, in 189, the emperor at the time, Ling, would die, and Ding Yuan, along with others, would lead their troops to the capital of Luoyang to assist in the eliminating of the eunuch faction that had been behind some of the unrest and turmoil that had led to the emperor's death. One of the other generals who was there to help was actually assassinated by the eunuchs, and after that it left the city open for Dong Zhuo, the warlord, to invade Luoyang and occupy the capital. At this time, Dong Zhuo was fully against Ding Yuan, but he wanted to take control of all the troops that Ding Yuan commanded. Oh my god, how did I forget the word commanded? I said it 5 minutes ago. And so he tried to get Liu Bu to betray Ding and defect to his side. Now, Liu Bu, being the smart, philosophical, and good man of war strategist that he was, did just this. He was influenced and he defected and killed his commander. Cutting off his head, presenting it to Dong Zhuo. And then he was appointed cavalry commandant. So, I mean, I guess he got a job upgrade.
You did a promotion. All it cost you was the head of your leader.
Yeah, he also became the foster son of the warlord. So that's great. He was made a marquis of a village. Got all sorts of good things from this. All right, so that was 189. In 190, a group of warlords that were led by Yuan Shao came against Dong Zhuo in response to his tyranny and monopoly. Because Dong Zhuo had deposed Emperor Ling's successor, the Emperor Shao, and replaced him with a hand-picked successor named Emperor Xian, who was a puppet ruler, the political climate was not great. Liu Bu defended Dong Zhuo through this period, fighting against the coalition. And at one point, he was ordered to attack a number of the coalition members by an in association with another commander named Hu Zhen. But Liu Bu hated Hu Zhen so much that they refused to work together. Like, my guy, dissension among the ranks. Because they could not get their acts together, the coalition took the opportunity to attack them and force them into retreat, which would eventually lead to the coalition actually reaching the capital of Luoyang with their forces. So Dong Zhuo was forced to personally lead an army to engage them. And this hurts my little archaeologist soul, but their engagement was in the place where the tombs of the Han emperors were located. Hurts my soul. Don't fight in graveyards. We like those.
Till the dead start rising, then fuck them.
Who said don't fight in graveyards? Really, this works for both not wanting to be around dead people living and for just don't fuck up graveyards. I'm just saying. Anyways, this wasn't the most successful battle. And Sun Jian, who was the coalition leader, did manage to get through the Xuanyang Gate in Luoyang to directly confront Liu Bu and drive him back. As a result, warlord Dong Zhuo evacuated Luoyang, moving to Chang'an in the west. He then began sending troops to pillage Luoyang, forcing the residents to move to Chang'an before destroying Luoyang by fire. The coalition decided not to pursue Dong Zhuo, and eventually would dissolve within the year because of dissension in their own ranks and just an unwillingness to keep this conflict going. Now, Dong Zhuo was, besides being a warlord, not a very polite person, and also incredibly paranoid of assassination attempts. And as a result, he used Liu Bu often as a personal bodyguard, but he had a really bad temper, and so he would throw shit at Liu Bu. And Liu Bu would dodge, and then he wouldn't be as mad anymore. But Liu Bu was like, hey, I don't like it when you get mad and throw shit at me. That's not cool. And at the time, Liu Bu was also having an affair with one of Dong Zhuo's maids, and didn't want Dong Zhuo to find out about that. So really just bad vibes all around. Is that, he's getting mad, he's getting paranoid, he's throwing shit at Liu Bu, Liu Bu's fucking his maid without telling him, and secretly pissed off at all the shit that's getting thrown at him. Honestly, this is a recipe for disaster. Right? So, he then decided that he was going to go to the minister over the masses and complain about Dong Zhuo. Now, at the time, remember how Dong Zhuo was a little bit paranoid of being assassinated? Well, minister over the masses might have been plotting to assassinate Dong Zhuo. And so they told Liu Bu about their plan. And Liu Bu was like, no, but he's my foster father. And the minister was like, your family name is Liu, not Dong Zhuo. So you don't have any blood relations. He didn't care about you when you almost died, so how is he your father? And so Liu Bu was like, I will join you. And then he murdered Dong Zhuo. That is 2 commanders down. Out of 2 so far. And then he tried to take charge of the central government with Minister Wang Yun, right? He was given the title General of Vehement Might and was given honors equivalent to the ducal ministers. And Emperor Xian also named him Marquis of Wen. So, yay, we've got titles. Once again, our status has risen, and all we had to do was kill our commander.
0 morals.
None.
0 ethics.
once again, we're also starting to see that, like, flip-flopping impulsiveness. You know, where he's like, oh, I'm going to side with this guy. Oh, well, he offered me something better and I didn't like him. Oh, well, he offered me something better.
Vorn heard me mention Lu Bu as a servant one time. He's like, oh, the traitor.
Yeah. So, Dong Zhuo is dead, but he still had followers. His followers were led by a couple of generals, and they decided that they were going to attack former minister, now head of government, Wang Yun in Chang'an, because he would not grant them amnesty for their actions under the tyrant Dong Zhuo. So, they led their men to attack the city's north gate, where he would meet with Lu Bu, who told him, let's have a man-on-man fight. So they have a mano-a-mano duel, and Lu Bu injures Guo Xi. Guo Xi's men saved their superior, both sides withdrew. Lu Bu was unable to resist the enemy, and so he eventually was forced to leave Chang'an and flee. His defeat and flight took place about 2 months after the death of Dong Zhuo. So, you know, didn't stick it out for long. So he obviously fled Chang'an, with a couple hundred loyal horsemen and the head of Dong Zhuo tied to his saddle. That's important here. The head of Dong Zhuo tied to his saddle. And he rode through the Wu Pass and decided he was going to join Yuan Shu in the Nanyang Commandery. Now, some sources say that he expected to be received warmly and positively, because he felt that by taking Dong Zhuo's head, he had somehow helped Yuan Shu get revenge. But Yuan Shu was like, hey, you are a duplicitous bastard, and I don't like you.
I wouldn't either.
And also, Lu Bu apparently behaved very arrogantly and thought he deserved to be treated amazingly for killing Dong Zhuo. And Lu Bu was also down for just letting his men plunder in the area. And this led to some tension between the two, and Lu Bu, sensing that things were not going his way, left. So, we've alienated multiple people now.
Funny, having no loyalty and being a traitorous bastard tends to do that.
He's trying. Not his hardest, and not his best. And I'd argue that this wouldn't even be considered trying. Honestly, I don't know why I said he's trying. I don't think he is. So, he then headed to northern China to join up with one of Yuan Shu's relatives, because he thought that Yuan Shu's relative would be more positive towards him, even though Yuan Shu wasn't. This was Yuan Shao. So together they worked to attack Zhang Yan at Changshan, leading their raiders to kill many in his camp and fight their way out. And they, over about 10 days, they would come in 3 or 4 times a day, raid the camp, kill everyone they could, and then leave as fast as possible. And this did actually work. They did defeat Zhang Yan. However, remember how Lu Bu pissed off Yuan Shu because he was like, hey, I killed Dong Zhuo, and so you owe me a favor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he thought the same thing about Yuan Shao. And Yuan Shao also did not agree with the fact that he deserved special treatment for killing Dong Zhuo. And he was arrogant, and he belittled Yuan Shao, treated him with contempt. He kept asking for more soldiers, and when he didn't send soldiers, he would send his men to raid his territory. And so and obviously tensions rose, understandably, and Lu Bu was like, hey, I don't think Yuan Shao likes me. Maybe I should go back to Luoyang. And Yuan Shao was like, you know what? That's a great idea. Why don't you go back and take the title of Colonel Director of Retainers? Right? He said, while plotting with other people behind Lu Bu's back to murder him.
Don't blame him.
So Lu Bu left, and Yuan Shao sent 30 armored soldiers to personally escort him. Lu Bu, of course, on this journey, because it was a long journey, had to stop and rest. And you remember how Yuan Shao sent 30 armed soldiers with him to escort him? What do you think they did? What do you think they did, Knick-Knack?
I think they performed a Lu Bu special technique.
Yeah, they crept into his tent and murdered the person inside, who was covered with a blanket, then reported that he was dead to Yuan Shao. Now, the thing was, unfortunately, Liu Bu had left his tent the previous night without telling them and ordered one of his men to remain as decoy. So it was not actually Liu Bu, it was just one of his men.
Wow, that man is more loyal than Lu Bu ever would be.
It really is. Like, Liu Bu did not care about him. So then he fled to a different commandery, the Hane commandery, where he would join with Zhang Yang. Yuan Shao had sent some men to pursue him after they realized that he was still alive, but these men were actually afraid of Liu Bu and didn't approach him. Now, remember that those old commanders of Dong Zhuo that he fought with in Chang'an? Well, so they bribed Zhang Yang to kill him when he got to Hene Commandery. But the thing was, when Liu Bu found out about this plot, and he was like, hey, Zhang Yang, we're from the same province. If you kill me, you're going to become weaker. But if you recruit me, you could have the same honor and titles as Li Ju and Guo Si, the two who had tried to plot to kill him. Oh my god, Loki. What
Help him. I didn't have the hands.
Buddy!
It's either drop the cat or drop the expensive iPad.
I mean, arguably the cat's more expensive, because that's an ongoing vet bill.
I'm not the one paying that, though.
That's true. Hey, buddy. So Zhang Yang was like, hey, let me pretend to help these two kill Liu Bu, but I'll order Liu Bu refuge instead because I think his offer is pretty damn good. However, this backfired because Guo Si and Li Ju did learn that Zhang Yang had welcomed Liu Bu in, and so they sent an imperial decree in the Emperor Xian's name, appointing Liu Bu as administrator of Yingchuan Commandery, ideally to get him out from under Zhang Yang so that they could have more access to him. Which, makes sense. So, he had to head to his next appointment. On the way, though, to his next appointment, he did pass through Qianlu, and its administrator, named Zhang Miao, received Liu Bu very warmly and welcomed him as a friend, and then saw him off to Qianlu, which was very nice. That might be the first friend he's made that didn't involve some promise of backstabbing. However, so Zhang Miao was in a feud with Yuan Shao. And this meant that Yuan Shao did not like Liu Bu even more. Yuan Shao was at the time an ally of Cao Cao, and he was a little afraid that Yuan Shao and Cao Cao would join forces to attack.
Okay, that's enough.
What's he doing?
Just pawing, and I need him to not be, or else I'm gonna drop stuff.
Loki, boy, hello, noodle.
He's all bored because he's been inside all day.
He is. He's so bored. But the thing is, he was out for like 2 days straight. He needs to come inside and stay home sometimes. He's so bored. Hey, buddy. Oh, okay. All right.
Did I spook him?
Yeah, just a little. Not that much. He's still in the door. So, shit's going down. Zhang Miao, Yuan Shao, Cao Cao, they're all mired in conflict with one another. So, Cao Cao left Yan province with the intention to attack Zhu province. And at that time, Zhang Miao's younger brother, along with Chen Gong and Wan Kai, started a rebellion. They persuaded Miao to join them and welcome Liu Bu into Yan province. Liu Bu then seized control of Puyang, declaring himself governor. The counties in the province did respond to his call and did defect to his side, all except for 3 counties which remained under Cao Cao's control. After receiving news of this rebellion, Cao Cao would end up ending his campaign against the Zhu province and going back to Yan as fast as he could, where their armies clashed at Puyang, where Cao was unable to win. And they were locked in a stalemate for over 3 months. At the time, there was also a plague of locusts, so there was a famine, and apparently the people had to resort to cannibalism. He then moved his base from Puyang to Shanyang, and within 2 years, Cao Cao had managed to reclaim all of the territories in Yan, and then defeated Liu Bu in Juyi County. Liu Bu then fled to Zhu province, where he had originally where Cao Cao had originally been intending to attack, where he would take shelter under Liu Bei. What?
Nothing. I just forgot that you mentioned a name in there. I forgot that character's in Fate. Not that we're covering them today.
Which
we don't
one?
Need to cover them. Zhao.
Which Zhao?
Came up a second ago. Dang it, I already closed out that tab. Ow. Dang it. Ow. Zhao Yun.
I didn't mention Zhao Yun.
Did you not?
No.
I thought you did. Huh.
No. Don't think so. So Liu Bu, perhaps having learnt a lesson, when he first met with Liu Bei, he was very respectful. He was like, "You and I, we are both from the north. When I saw the coalition rise against Dong Zhuo..."
I'm not wearing pants. You can't go kneading my leg. It hurts. I don't have cats.
You just gotta get good scrub.
No.
So,
These are sensitive legs.
build up a tolerance. You know that dude needs on my legs every day, and I don't even notice anymore. So as I was saying, right, Liu Bu learned a lesson from his previous conduct, or so he wants us to believe. Because when he first meets Liu Bei, he's very respectful, and he's like, "You and I, we're from the north. When I saw the uprising against Dong Zhuo, I helped eliminate him, right? But none of them wanted to help me afterwards. They all wanted to kill me." So he brought Liu Bei into his camp, and he was like, "Liu, sit on my wife's bed, and my wife will pay respect for you." He threw a feast for Liu Bei, called him his younger brother. Liu Bei, however, knew from previous experience and all the rumors that Liu Bu was not trustworthy and not predictable. So he just pretended to quietly be friendly towards Liu Bu, but didn't buy into the shit that he was spouting. Liu Bei was stationed in the capital of Xiapi, and he drew boundaries with Yuan Shu. We remember Yuan Shu from earlier, along the Huai River. However, Yuan Shu, still mad at Liu Bu, was like, "You know what? What if you, Liu Bu, help me deal with Liu Bei so I can acquire Zhu province, right?" With ulterior motives. Because he was like, "Hey, in the past, Dong Zhuo murdered my family. I competed against him, but I could not kill him. You killed him, and you gave me his head, and in doing so, you did me a favor. Later, you helped me regain my reputation. Throughout my whole life, I've never heard of Liu Bei, but he started a war with me. You, Liu Bu, you are capable of defeating him, and if you do me this favor, I will entrust all matters of life and death to you. Here, I will send you grain and make you welcome. And if you need military or weapons, I'll help." And Liu Bu was like, "Oh boy, a Scooby snack. Let's turn on Liu Bei, the man that I've been hyping up, with the help of Yuan Shu." It's probably not a good idea. Many people could have told him this. Many people probably did tell him this. He did not care. So Liu Bu led his forces to the west of Xiapi. And then the general of the household of Liu Bei was sent to meet him at night. This man, Zhang Kuang, told Liu Bei, "Zhang Yide quarreled with Cao Bao and killed him. The city is in chaos. There are 1,000 soldiers stationed at the west gate. When they heard of your arrival, they jumped for joy. The Danyang soldiers will open the west gate." Liu Bu mobilized his troops, and he headed for Xiapi at dawn, where the soldiers opened the gate for him. He sat on a viewing platform and instructed his troops to set fire inside the city. They defeated the other generals and captured Liu Bei's family, the families of all of Liu Bei's subordinates, and his supplies. Liu Bei, who was, at the time, away, immediately headed back, but most of his troops were scattered along the way during this trip. So, with the remaining men that he had, he moved east to take Guanling Commandery, but Yuan Shu defeated him there. Liu Bei then retreated to modern-day Gunan County, where he would then, in desperation, surrender to Liu Bu. This took place in 196. Now, I don't know if you remember what year Liu Bu died, but 196 is getting awful fucking close. Yeah. Liu Bu was unhappy, though, that the promised supplies from Yuan Shu, they hadn't reached him yet. So when Liu Bei surrendered, he welcomed him. He appointed him inspector of Yu province and told him to keep control of the garrison at Xiaopei, while he became the governor of Shu province and remained in Xiapi. Which is probably not a good idea. He was like, look, Yuan Shu's supplies haven't come, so, he wanted me to kill you, but instead I'm going to make you a minor commander and you're going to listen to me now while I wait for his supplies to come. That seems like a bad idea all around. This seems like bad military strategy. I'm just saying. Sun Tzu would be upset. So, in late 196, one of Liu Bu's subordinates, named Hao Meng, rebelled against him in Xiapi. The rebellion was suppressed, and later Liu Bu would use his archery skill to prevent another battle between Liu Bei and Yuan Shu's general Jiling, and erected a special gate. He did this by erecting a gate at the camp, saying, "Guys, watch me shoot an arrow at the lower part of the curved blade on the gate. If I hit it in one shot, you all have to leave. If I don't, you can stay here and prepare for battle." He did hit, and so they were like, all right, let's withdrew, threw a party, and withdrew their forces. Look, Liu Bu, peacemaker. How long do you think that's going to last?
2 months.
In early 197, Yuan Shu declared himself Son of Heaven, founding the Zhong dynasty. However, this was treason against Emperor Xian of the Han dynasty, and so Yuan Shu was the target of attacks from Cao Cao and the other warlords who were taking orders from the Han imperial court. Yuan Shu had originally wanted to form an alliance with Liu Bu, so he said, let's have a marriage, right? My son and your daughter. And Liu Bu was like, okay, yeah, my daughter, your son. So Yuan Shu sent Han Yin to meet Liu Bu and escort his daughter back, but Chen Gui convinced Liu Bu eventually not to, reminding him of how Yuan Shu rejected him when he first sought shelter. He then sent his man to chase Han Yin on its way back and retrieve his daughter. He then captured Han Yin as well, sent him as prisoner to Zhu, and then had him executed. Oh. Now, Liu Bu at the time was appointed general of the left, and there was some sort of back and forth between him and the other commanders, and him and the other warlords. So, in Zhu province, Chen Deng urged Cao Cao to get rid of him, and he said, I will serve as the spy in Zhu province, and I will help you eliminate Liu Bu. Chen Deng received a promotion when his father got a salary rise, so he was all for this. So Chen Deng returned to Zhu province, but Liu Bu, who was extremely angry, confronted him, and he was like, your father told me to side with Cao Cao and reject Yuan Shu's offer. Now, I have nothing. You and your father got a promotion and a reward. What do you have to say about how you've tricked me? And Chen Deng was like, hey, when I met Cao Cao, I was like, you should treat Liu Bu in the same way you raise a tiger. Feed it well with meat. If it is not well fed, it will attack people. And Cao Cao said to me, he's like a hawk. If it's hungry, it will hunt for you. If it's well fed, it will fly away. Which essentially just pushed the blame off onto Cao Cao, even though it was, in fact, Chen Deng and his father's plan. But this actually did succeed in persuading Liu Bu not to be angry at him. This man really needed someone at his side who was loyal and, like, smart. And he just didn't have that.
No.
Not someone that he would listen to, at least. However, Yuan Shu, who had declared himself emperor, was extremely angry that Liu Bu reneged on his word and his alliance. And as a result, he intended to directly attack Liu Bu with the help of several others. Liu Bu then asked for the advice of Chen Gui. What should I do now? And he replied, this is a loose assembly. They don't even have a common plan. They're like chickens tied together. My son Deng, he has a plan that will break them apart. And Liu Bu was like, okay. So he sent a letter to the two generals that were allying with, and he was like, you escorted the emperor in Luoyang where I personally killed Dong Zhuo. We have all accomplished great deeds. Yuan Shu committed treason, so everyone should attack him. Why do you side with the traitor and join him in attacking me? We should combine forces to kill Yuan Shu, help the emperor kill this traitor, and achieve glory. And if we do that, I'll share the spoils of war with you. And they were like, okay. And so they defeated another couple generals who were siding with Yuan Shu at T.H.E and captured one of his main officers. And Yuan Shu's forces suffered really bad casualties at this battle. This group, Liu Bu, Han Xian, and Yang Feng, would then go on to attack Shouchun, which was the capital of Yuan Shu's territories, by land and water, plundering his lands along the way. And eventually, by the time that they reached Zhongli, they had so many gains that they decided to retreat. They crossed the Huai River back to the north, with Liu Bu leaving a letter for Yuan Shu saying, "You think you're powerful, and you boast about the mighty warriors under your command. You wanted to destroy me, but you kept changing your decisions. I may not be courageous, but I have dominated the Huainan region. In a short period, you've become like a rat scurrying for shelter. Where are your mighty warriors? You enjoy telling everyone lies, but no one believes you. I am still nearby, so I can wait for your response." He then crossed the Huai River, and Yuan Shu led 5,000 soldiers to the riverbank, while Liu Bu's forces on the other side laughed at them while retreating. So this man's just poking the fucking bear, you know? Like, repeatedly making bad decisions, flipping his alliances, poking the bear. This is not going to end up well. This is not going to end up well. Now, following this, as he headed back to his province, right, the chancellor of Langya state, Zhao Jian, was written to by Liu Bu, right? And Liu Bu told him of the circumstances and said, "Hey, Zhu and Xiapi, not far from one another. We can easily maintain communication. You behave like you are an emperor and a king in a county. In the past, when Yu Yi attacked the Qi state, he conquered a bunch of cities. But I am not Yu Yi, and you are not Tian Dan, so you can seek the counsel of wise men." And so, as a result of receiving this letter, Zhao Jian ordered one of his officers to present 5 beautiful horses as gifts to Liu Bu, probably to pacify him, because the letter was sort of a veiled threat. However, Zhao Jian was later defeated by a man named Zhang Ba, who seized all of his resources. And when Liu Bu heard of this, he was like, "We should go attack Zhang Ba." But he was advised against it by someone who was like, "Hey, you've earned a lot of fame for killing Dong Zhuo, but you shouldn't be so reckless as to personally lead your men into battle. If you lose, the damage to your reputation won't be minimal." Liu Bu ignored him, though. Zhang Ba heard of Liu's violent and plundering ways, so he stayed inside Zhu County and put up a defense, and Liu Bu was unable to conquer said defense, so he had to return to Xiapi. After that, generals of the bandits, including Zhang Ba, would submit to Liu Bu, and his power was actually stronger at this point. So, I mean, it didn't turn out all that badly. Later that same year, more brigands raided the area between Yang and Zhu, and eventually Liu Bu was ordered those to raid troops of Liu Bei, who was still around, even though, everything had gone down. Liu Bei lured these men into a trap, and Yang Feng and Han Xian, one was killed and one escaped. Sometime late this year, 197 to early 198, Liu Bu then decided to side with Yuan Shu after fighting against him for the past year. So he was like, "I will order my soldiers to gather gold and money, we'll buy horses, and then we're going to head over to Yuan Shu and offer him our help." Liu Bu also sent some of his commanders to attack Liu Bei at Peicheng, whereas Cao Cao, the warlord, sent support to Liu Bei. So, we've flip-flopped again. Instead of being against Yuan Shu, we're for him now. Honestly, it's actually kind of hard to keep track of how many times.
How many times he's betrayed people and flipped sides?
Yeah, this is like 6 or 7. I'm not sure. But in the winter of 198, the warlord Cao Cao would lead a campaign against Liu Bu, besieging T.H.E. He wrote a letter explaining to Liu Bu all the benefits of submitting and the consequences of keeping up his resistance. Liu Bu actually wanted to surrender, but who told him to change his decision?
Womp womp.
Chen Gong. Chen Gong was like, hey, no, you should fight. You don't need to surrender. Chen Gong told Liu Bu when Cao Cao's army was in Pengcheng, said, we should attack now. Our troops are well rested. The enemy is tired. We're definitely going to win. And Liu Bu was like, shouldn't we wait for them to attack and then we'll kill them in the river? And they were like, and Chen Gong was like, Cao Cao is not a wise lord. You can't surrender to him. That would be like hitting a rock with an egg. You have to kill him. So Liu Bu sent Shu Si and Wang Kai to request aid from Yuan Shu, who he was now allied with somehow. Yuan Shu replied by saying Liu Bu refused to send his daughter here, so he's going to meet his doom. Why does he want help from me? Which is understandable. The way that they were supposed to ally was through a marriage, and that marriage did not happen. I'm just saying, I don't blame Yuan Shu for this one.
No.
So Liu Bu, because of this, was like, well, maybe Yuan Shu's reluctant to help me because I didn't send my daughter. So he attempted to break the siege with his daughter, but they were unable to, as soldiers of Cao Cao firing upon them, and so they ended up returning to Xiapi. Liu Bu then led 1,000 men out of the city to engage the enemy, but lost very badly, and so he retreated back inside the city. He then offered Chen Gong and Gao Shun to defend Xiapi, where he led some horsemen to attack the supply routes. Before he left, his wife told him, General, I know you want to attack the supply lines, but Chen Gong and Gao Shun can't get along. If you leave, they won't work together in defending the city. If something happens, what will become of you? I hope you'll consider this carefully and not be misled by Chen Gong and the others. While I was in Chang'an, you abandoned me, but I managed to return to you because Peng Shu, one of Liu Bu's men, protected me and kept me with him. You don't need to worry about me now. Liu Bu was kind of concerned about this. He wasn't sure what he wanted to do. But then Chen Gong told Liu Bu, Cao Cao has come a long way. He won't be able to last. General, you can just bring a little bit of troops, set up a camp. The others and I will stay here. We'll defend the city. When the enemy attacks you, I'll lead the soldiers out and attack them from behind. If they attack the city, you can reinforce the city. Within days, the supplies will be ended and we can defeat them easily. Liu Bu's wife disagreed with this. Very much disagreed with this, but, and threatened him that she would not stay married to him if he listened to Chen Gong. Yuan Shu, however, during this time, was still unable to come to Liu Bu's aid. But Cao Cao also could not manage to conquer Xiapi. He kept pressing attacks, but his men were actually growing weary. He was thinking about ending the fight and returning to Zuchang, but his advisors were telling him he should press on. He ordered his troops into the waters of the Yi and the Se rivers to flood Xiapi. The siege had lasted 3 months, and the morale of Liu Bu's forces fell drastically. Liu Bu's subordinate Ho Cheng, Song Xian, and Wei Shu then captured Chen Gong and Gao Shun, led their troops to surrender to Cao Cao, the warlord. Liu Bu and his remaining subordinates went to the White Gate Tower and surrendered when they saw they were surrounded. Liu Bu then, according to the Hohan Shu, asked his men to kill him and bring his head to Cao Cao, but they refused. So Liu Bu was tied up and brought before Cao Cao. And he said, hey, you've tied me so tightly. Can you loosen my ropes? And Cao Cao said, a tiger must be tightly tied up. And he was like, but my lord, I've already submitted to you. You should have no more worries. "My lord, why don't you spare me? Let me lead your troops. That way you don't have to worry about not being able to pacify the empire." Um, and Cao Cao, for some reason, was actually considering this. And then Liu Bei was like, "Hey, haven't you seen what he did to Ding Jianyang and Zhuo Dong? Or Dong Zhuo?" And Cao Cao was like, maybe. And then apparently Liu Bu just shouted at Liu Bei that you're a super untrustworthy person. Which is kind of ironic coming from Liu Bu. Personally, I think that's a bit of a pot calling the kettle.
I feel like I've seen people like in real life and online that are like that though.
Yeah. It's not great. Cao Cao then had Liu Bu sentenced to execution by hanging, with their dead bodies later being decapitated and their heads sent to the capital of Zhu and buried there. Which I think was probably smart on Cao Cao's part, to be honest.
No, Liu Bu really did earn his death.
Yeah. This one's smart.
This is not a tragic story.
Yeah. This one's smart. I mean, this man literally betrayed you and then was like, "Hey, why don't you make me commander of all of your troops? And then we can get along and you don't have to kill me and I don't have to kill you."
Man thought he was Jack Sparrow.
You really did. Jesus Christ. So Chen Gong was from Wuyang County. And he joined Cao Cao around the year 190 during the regional warlord coalition against Dong Zhuo. Chen Gong's contribution to Cao Cao's rule was taking over Yan province in 193 through diplomatic efforts, which laid the foundation for Cao Cao's rise to power. In 194, while he was away on campaign, he then defected to Liu Bu along with Zhang Miao, one of his colleagues.
I wonder why he wasn't so keen on surrendering to Cao Cao in the much more diplomatic time period.
Cao Cao, yeah. Liu Bu then took over Yan province, and Cao Cao returned and tried to reclaim Puyang, and eventually Liu Bu did leave, but he took Chen Gong with him. In 196, a few years later, Liu Bu turned on his host, overtaking Xiapi, his host being Liu Bei, we talked about. And then Liu Bu launched an offensive against Liu Bei, who then tried to side with Cao Cao, which was good for Cao Cao because he wanted Zhu province. He placed spies in the camp to sow discord between Liu Bu, Liu Bei, and Chen Gong. Ironically, I think it's actually hilarious that the two spies he placed managed to become like the two most trusted advisors to Liu Bu, telling him to attack Liu Bei against Chen Gong's advice, which just created an issue, Then Chen Gong told Liu Bu to use the initiative to strike at Cao Cao, but Liu Bu listened to his wife and stayed put. And then he was like, "Hey, breaking the siege failed, we should surrender." And Chen Gong was like, no, don't surrender, keep going for 2 more months.
I wonder if that had anything to do with the fact that he knew that he wasn't going to get out of that good with Cao Cao.
Yeah.
Cao Cao?
Yeah. When brought before Cao Cao afterwards, Chen Gong refused to return to his service and chose death to maintain the law. Cao Cao had maintained the general rule that those who surrendered to him after rejecting an initial call would not be spared. But he was moved because of this and ended up providing for Chen Gong's family after his death. His role is kind of positively washed in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, that he's not as
he only betrayed once. That makes him significantly.
No. He betrayed Cao Cao and then Liu Bu, technically. He did, in fact, betray twice. Let's be honest here. It was twice. So yeah, Liu Bu, Chen Gong, and then Diao Chan is really only important for the literary version of the tale.
Oh, we didn't have the other Wikipedia article.
Yeah, I did.
No, the third name I kind of gave you.
What name?
Liu Bu's horse.
Oh yeah, the red hair. That's one of the ones that was gifted to him. Yeah. wasn't my responsibility to open these tabs.
You opened the Wikipedia tabs.
Yeah, but you're always welcome to open more.
I saw 3 and I assumed it was the 3 that I had said.
And then I told you it was Xian Chen.
Yeah, after we started recording.
Yeah, and then you didn't say anything.
Look, this is important here. For
I'm
Man
just
Lubu,
saying.
For Steed's red hair.
Red hair. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you got Lubu's class right. 4.
Yeah, it's Berserker. Oh. He's big.
Yeah.
All the Berserkers are
He is
big.
from the Herc era of Berserkers.
I don't know why I said...
That era of Berserkers where they were all big guys.
Okay. Alright. I'm trying to see if there's, like, any references to, like, what they said about him from, like, the way that he's described in Romance of the Three Kingdoms. But, like, I don't know if I can identify any, because, like, he's not wearing a belt with a lion's head. These aren't floral patterns on his battle robes. I suppose there is some gold on his headpiece. You know? That might be. I think that is a lion head. So maybe they moved the lion head up to his chest plate instead of being like a belt buckle, basically. Oh, it turned blue. Oh, it turned gold. Oh, look. All the times they called him a tiger.
Yeah.
Said he should be treated like a tiger. And now he has tiger skin. He's big.
He's big.
I think that might be
I'm
a
pretty sure
lion.
it's supposed to be a lion.
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. Tiger Man! I kind of like this most just because of the tiger bits, because you know me, I love a tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lu Bu is the opponent berserker servant from Fate Extra working with the homunculus master Ronnie 8. He's very big and very dangerous, but he's also kind of a liability. Lu Bu is a mindless berserker driven by holy insanity, but that's not actually the case. His master in Fate Extra, he's especially compassionate towards due to her looking like his former wife. And we know that it is...
Okay, so his actual historical wife who pleaded with him to not listen to Chen Gong, and who he abandoned at one point.
It's never stated specifically. It's not that I could find.
But it's probably her, not...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they're focusing on the red hair, right? The red hair is a connection to Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Because the story of the red hair as Dong Zhuo's horse is part of the romanticization and fictionalization of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. So that would lead me to believe that, and the fact that they've taken at least some inspiration from the clothing would lead me to think maybe they're trying to lean a little bit into Romance of the Three Kingdoms. In which case I'd be like, maybe it's supposed to be T.H.E. But it was his wife who's the one who kind of tries to persuade him from doing the wrong things, you know? And they've not had a bad marriage, right? So, like, I'm kind of like an impasse here where I'm like, it could be either. It's probably his wife, though, because even in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, his first wife is modeled after his actual historical wife. T.H.E. is a consort that he has. He actually even has an entirely second wife. You mentioned Dynasty Warriors? Right?
Yes.
Pretty sure that his second wife is given a name in Dynasty Warriors. As like his second wife. Because he has 2 wives and a consort in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And T.H.E. is just the consort.
We're never given like full clarity, partially because the man doesn't really speak. He just kind of goes...
Yeah.
But we know it is possible to reach something of an understanding with him.
Okay.
He's also remarkably critical of his master's actions. Should he even for a moment believe his master is anything but an ideal general, he will look for the best possible opportunity to betray his master and join another.
I feel like maybe, and just hear me out here, right? Hear me out here. I feel like maybe his judgment might not be the most sound. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if what I'm saying makes a lot of sense here, but are you picking up what I'm putting down?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So a prime example of this is in Fate Extella, when he comes under the employ of Tomomo no Mae.
Oh boy.
He makes preliminary plans to turn on her and take control of her forces. He wasn't even subtle. Every other servant knew it was his intent other than Tomomo herself.
Oh wait. No, right here.
Oh, yeah,
It is naming his wife as T.H.E., one of the 4 great beauties. Okay.
So
Which is funny because she was his consort, not his wife, even in the story. Okay, whatever.
So he is talked down from this by the disembodied voice of Chen Gong in Lu Bu's head, advising him to wait until Tamamo reaches her maximum power so he can obtain more by taking it from her.
That feels like a bad idea.
Various reasons exist why this doesn't ultimately come to pass, depending on the route, most of them being that Tamamo loses her ward, either Nero or Altera anyways, and he probably dies.
This feels like a bad idea. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like mistakes are being made here. Sorry, there's extra art, so I'm gonna be clicking through.
That one has the lion on the belt.
It does! Okay. Nice. Oh.
It's like kind of a mecha.
Yeah. I feel like something in my eye. Okay. Okay. There's like different versions of him.
Yeah, he's an extra servant, so he has a lot of like...
I'm gonna skip anything that's labeled Grand Order, but just wanted to see those extra bits. Okay. Oh, are we on relationships?
Yep. I can read these if you want.
Yeah, I think you should read them. That was to Mordred. That was to Babbage. And that was to Tesla. I'm about to say something that you don't want to hear, right? But the conspiracy theory is still here. I'm fairly certain that this is supposed to be a person from the Indian subcontinent. This is what they are modeled after. She's a fucking bindi. Which means that Ronnie makes sense. I'm just saying. It's a fucking bindi. Okay, I'm at abilities.
So Lu Bu is remarkably powerful.
Well, yes, he is a good fighter.
As in, powerful to, and I quote, kill Tomo in one hit, even if she guards, admitted to by the Fox Girl herself within Fate Extella.
He's just dumb.
Perhaps an even better measurement of power is that, at one point, the best strategy to keep a fully powered sun, like powered by the sun Gawain at bay, was to have Lu Bu just keep him locked in mortal combat long enough to allow the rest of the battle to play out. And you fought Gawain, you can appreciate what that takes now.
Yeah, it does take a little bit of effort. It's just a little bit. Just a little bit of effort. Just a little bit.
I'm
Okay.
gonna save his armaments because that gets into his noble phantasm. So
Like Hotengeki?
yeah.
Okay. Alright. So we've got Madness Enhancement. But I feel like he should not have Valor. But okay. Ruthless warrior of the turbulent times. I got a comment here about whether Ruthless Warrior is an accurate description of backstabbing bitch. Those are not synonyms. He did not have to keep backstabbing people. Let me repeat this for the people in the back. This man did not need to keep betraying people. This was not a sign of him being a ruthless warrior of turbulent times. A lot of other people didn't keep backstabbing each other. Just saying.
This was not a product of his time. This was just a moron.
I'm just saying. Okay. But also at the same time, I know that in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and if they've given him the spouse of Diao-chan, in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, they do sort of kind of remove some of the worst aspects of his life. They do smooth it out a little bit. He's still impetuous. He still makes bad decisions. He still, like, betrays people, but it's not as bad as the pure historical record. So, like, if they're leaning a little bit more towards that, I still don't agree, but I guess I can see. Phantasm is God Force? That just seems...
God Force is Lu Bu's primary armament. It's a specialized armament created by Chen Gong to allow Lu Bu to take advantage of his mastery of a variety of different types of arms. It transforms into different forms specialized in different attacks and allows Lu Bu to fight like a walking fortress in one-man army. Berserker Lu Bu has access to only the polearm in both forms, but it can also become gauntlets, tonfas, a broadsword, a pair of kusarigama, and a war scythe.
Do you know what a kusarigama is?
kind of. If you click into God Force, it'll show you an image of all of them.
A kusarigama is so it's got a chain connecting to the butt of it, but it's like a small sickle scythe that can be thrown with chain and used.
Let's click into it. They have an image of it here. I didn't open it. Like, don't scroll to the bottom, but you can scroll till you see the weapons. There's more of them. Scroll down.
Okay, so these are them. Okay, so I'm assuming this is supposed to be the kusarigama.
Believe so. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, they're chained weapons, which can be wielded kind of. I see it can also be used as a bow.
Yep.
Oh, I don't need to. Yeah. Okay, Arkawada did them.
Like a lot of the extra servants.
Oh my God, so many of the extra servants. However, I do want to point to one comment. The Arkawada left on it is that I drew the raging Hare of the third stage to give the feeling of making strong Lubu go even further beyond a Super Saiyan. It was so much fun. I appreciate that. I don't know if I can describe how much I appreciate that, but as a Dragon Ball fan, I appreciate that. I think we're...
So I skipped behind a little bit.
Oh.
But I skipped it. Sorry, no, if you go to the NP, I did skip ahead a little bit. Okay. Oh, no, I mean the YouTube NPs.
Oh, this?
I had to skip ahead in the video a bit because there's no, like, just straight video of the NP. I had to find a fight, like, and jump to the part where he actually... jump to the round where he actually uses it. That's what took me so long.
Okay. I hear the roar now. Spear. 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 Okay. Oh, bow. Oh, shooting the spear through a bow. Okay, the fact that it just said the warriors of Guan Yu is see, if I'd known that, I would have connected it even more to the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, because Guan Yu is a pivotal character in Romance of the Three Kingdoms. So it does seem like they're leaning more into
Romance of the Three Kingdoms
than they are into the record of Han, and the records of the Three Kingdoms. Oh, this is hers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's one.
So this is his FGO animations.
Muted. Hi, Bobby. Is he new or old? He's pretty old, right?
He's launch.
Yeah.
Septum was a launch chapter.
Okay.
But he might have had an animation update since then.
I think he has. He must have, because he looks his sprite doesn't look like the launch sprites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kamehame! Ah! Oh my God, big gauntlet. Oh, yep, there's the Kusarigama.
That's all too fancy to be old. For a 3-star?
Yeah. This is the animation update.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, though. Look, if they were going to tell us that it could be all these different weapons, I appreciate that we get to see all of the different weapons, if that makes sense. You know? Because, like, just seeing with him with his lance, I would have been like, ooh, is he a lancer?
That's what he did in his originals, I think, was just lance,
no.
and then he'd occasionally fire the bow.
Oh, no.
Internet.
I was here. Will it load? It will. Big guy.
I assume this launched with the like he got this update with the Chinese Lost Belt. That's like the only spot.
Probably.
Even though he wasn't really in the Chinese Lost Belt.
Mm-hmm.
That he had some connections to it, so it makes sense.
It would make sense, yeah.
That's the hand holding the heavy, expensive thing.
Loki. Loki, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. I know. I know you want attention. Alright, buddy. Okay. Alright, Loki, come on. Come on, buddy. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. What's up? What's up? How are you doing? What's up, buddy boo?
So next we have him in the Extella games. This first one we can watch on video. The next one we will have to cut the video or you'll have to edit it out.
Okay. All right. So this one we're good. The next one we're not. I mean, he does look pretty epic in like the 3D rendering. You know what I mean? He is just a big guy.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. Oh, nice. Okay, alright. See you guys in a bit. Now I see some stuff that is not.
Yes, so let's get into Ronnie 8 a little bit here.
Okay.
So, Ronnie 8 is a homunculus created by the Atlas Institute in order to hack the moon cell. Atlas Institute, if you remember your Camelot chapter, is in Egypt.
Yes.
The Ronnie series of homunculi are just the specialty of the Atlas Institute it's their homunculi specialized in Spiritron hacking more so than our typical flavor of homunculi.
I know there is no way that fate named a girl who looks to be of Indian descent, right, Rani, without knowing what it meant.
I mean, they probably did name her Ronnie after Queen. That was not the intention with the Ordeal Call chapter and the IS being a Ronnie series.
I refuse to believe that.
This is separated by like 2 decades.
It does not matter. They knew what they were doing. Conspiracy theory. They knew what they were doing.
Or it just worked out.
They knew what they were doing.
And it was an Indian chapter anyways.
Exactly!
But Ronnie 8 in particular, out of all of the Ronnie series, stands out as a master in Fate Extra of Lu Bu. Here she is fairly robotic, with more personality variance as time goes on, as her creator designed her to grow if she were to meet someone that she formed a connection with. I'd be scolded by chat if I failed to mention the fact that she has a known exhibitionism fetish and has authoritarian tendencies with an under-the-surface inclination to push her preferences and ideas onto others.
Don't I remember seeing her from when you played CCC?
Yeah, you also should have seen her in the extra manga we read.
Okay, yeah, that's why, because she looked familiar. I was like, you know, this is someone I've seen already.
Oh, and she has something of a competitive streak, though it's a little abnormal, focusing more on just being able to predict the outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
These traits of Ronnie are not exactly well liked by Ronnie, so it's like they're the under the surface secrets of her. The other thing is, and you'll see this at the bottom of the page if you scroll down after you've looked through that part. Yes, I got my 8 p.m. alarm too. At the bottom of the page, you'll see Ronnie as a demi-servant to Lu Bu, which she takes in the Extra Last Encore anime.
I will get there as soon as I finish looking through art. Sorry.
I'll mention that, yes, it is. Ronnie is supposedly looks very, very similar to Lu Bu's wife, though which wife that is remains largely up to speculation.
Well, they named her Diao Chan on the Wikia, so... They literally said spouse, Diao
Did
Chan.
they name the wives normally? Or the wives
So his first wife is, I think, just called Lady Yin or Lady Yan, and his second wife, which is exclusive to the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, does not have a name in story, but I think either Dynasty Warriors or like another game gave her a name like Li Jingli or something.
I think the one error I'd caution that is that also could have just been a profile thing, whereas the line that she looks like his... these could have come from 2 separate authors.
Maybe. I can see that. I'm just saying.
So, like, if you want a headcanon that she looks like what Diao Chan would look like, that's fair. CCC.
CCC. Those are some conveniently placed flower petals.
There's a lot of conveniently placed flower petals.
There's a lot of conveniently placed stuff there. Yeah. A lot of conveniently placed stuff in general.
So yeah, that's the Lu Bu demi-servant.
Okay.
Now, you remember what the difference between demi-servants and pseudo-servants are, right?
Yes. Demi-servants are using the power of a specific servant, but don't have the personality to go along with it, like a pseudo-servant.
There you go. Congratulations, you got that one right.
Also, this looks like shit. This looks so bad.
The anime is not very good. It's not a very good. Trust me, I'm right there with you. I don't think it looks particularly great.
Like, it just actually looks like a bad design. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure somebody put a lot of effort into that, but it just doesn't look good. It just looks clunky. I don't know. Something about it I don't like. Okay. Next tab up is red hair.
Yes. Red hair is a servant.
It's 'cause I'm a creature of the night. How could she ever love me right when I am only
So what
half
class
a
do you
man?
think this is?
Rider?
Yeah.
It's a horse.
There's the
Knick-knack,
FGO
it's a
wiki with the
horse.
designs if you want it. This is a fully playable servant.
It's a horse.
It's a horse.
It's just a horse. It's Dong Zhuo's horse. But, oh, now it's a minotaur.
So,
No, it's just turned weird. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why are their legs so stubby? Like, the legs are disproportionately stubby. Do you see this?
Yes.
This is wrong. This
For
looks wrong.
For men, Lu Bu. For steeds, red hair.
No.
Except this time it's actually both. Whether a delusion or reality, Red Hair insists that he's not just Red Hair, but Lu Bu himself. Chen Gong says that he is not Lu Bu, and even the horse himself is not sure if he is a personified Red Hair or Red Hair combined with Lu Bu. Being Lu Bu is a hope more than anything, but safely, we can all just call him Red Hair. He is an excellent horse who talks. Yeah. Fans of the character would be mad if I didn't mention Red Rabbit, a fairy in Britain who is neither Red Hair nor Lu Bu, but looks like them. No relation at all. Devs totally didn't just reuse the sprite.
Right.
Regardless, Red Rabbit is a beloved side character that was so loved by Nasu and the fans that Nasu wrote a short story that was just the ending of the Lost Belt with Red Rabbit's perspective.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, and the fans would also probably be pleased, or wouldn't be pleased if I failed to mention, that at least in Fate Grand Carnival, he is canonically one of, if not the favorite servant of the female master, who has invested everything she could into him, and during an incident where Chaldea needed to cut down on servant resources to preserve mana, she proposed burning every single 3-star servant except Red Hair, whom she vehemently defended, even executing the only non-3-star coup at the time, Coulter. Ah, horse girls, you know what they say.
Fuck off.
Ain't no like horse cock.
You have it wrong. It's because there's no like horse. Send your into shock. Also, no, his short stubby leg. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. This is only valid for Xiang Yu. This is only valid for Xiang Yu.
It launched in the same chapter.
Yeah, well, Xiang Yu is obviously the superior here. I'm gonna make you read those lines because there's horse noises.
Lu Bu, is that you? Lu Bu? Ah, this is unbelievable. Now's the time to form the true man-horse. The Exa-Red form will be revealed. Oh, Lu Bu, I am red. No, I am Lu Bu as well. It is true. In other words, we are double Lu Bu. Magnificent. That being so, how about an Exa-Red form?
I somehow just want to go die in a hole, if that makes sense. Soldiers are easily misled. I understand that. But I'm wondering what they think about suicide bombing. That being so, has there been development towards a new form? I think that would be good for a horse to be able to fly through the sky.
Ow.
Please hear me out, Chen Gong. Lu Bu is here. I am here, and you are here. That means this would be an opportune time to develop a new form. Lord Kentoki mentioned that if we want to be popular with children, we need to turn into something of that nature. Chen Gong? Lord Chen Gong, if you can at least work out how to fly. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't. Okay, alright.
Oh, it's a super red hair right up there in the images.
Oh.
See?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Red Hare is an exceptional servant at movement. He can sprint long at far distances, everything you'd want out of a good steed. He has great riding abilities, though who needs a mount when you are the mount? And his combat ability is increased when he's using his riding skill. For most servants, this would be a steep demerit, but not for Red Hare. One who is the steed and a rider at the same time will always have the buff.
Okay. Is he imitation God Force?
Yes, so Red Hare has a replica of God Force. However, unlike God Force, the bow cannot fire a beam of energy as an arrow. So Red Hare here uses one of his spears, possibly another recreation of God Force. I assure you, he is a rider and not a typical archer.
Okay, and then he has red form?
Red Hare claims that this noble phantasm is what combined him with Lu Bu to become the ultimate man horse. Although, and it's actually time to state this outright, Red Hare is wrong. It is just the horse, given some of Lu Bu's tools. Truth is, the noble phantasm just allows him to be a steed capable of allowing his rider to fight in perfect sync with him. The centaur form is not even Lu Bu, just a side effect of not being summoned with an existing rider.
There's something so intrinsically wrong about a horse with
abs
and hands, but also a horse. I don't like this. I'm not a fan. Oh, and his legs are just so stubby. Like his bottom half looks like a corgi. It's like a corgi. Do you know what I mean? It's wrong. I can't deal with this. I'm incapable of canning. It's just not an option.
He's got very dynamic animations, though. A lot of frames of that spear spin.
Oh, God.
I love that this is a playable server.
I hate this. I hate this with a burning passion. This is wrong.
This is a joke that went too far at the office.
This is a joke that went way too far. Like you know the barrier for too far? He hurtled over it and kept running.
I mean, that's what a horse does.
I need you to never do this to me again. Like, this could never happen again. I cannot. I am unable to can. Unable to can, Knick-Knack. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Finally.
Chen Gong. Is he a caster class?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I do have him!
Yes, you do have him.
Is there a reason why he looks like a male Ronnie?
That's actually been commented on.
Okay, because I was going to say, he's got the same hair color, the same skin color, the bindi, everything.
Suppose it's another reason why Lu Bu likes Ronnie.
Because he looks like Chen Gong?
He looks like Chen Gong and he looks like his wife. He has a very particular taste in people. Like, I don't know, you can read between the lines there as to why he likes Chen Gong if he likes his wife and Chen Gong looks like Ronnie who looks like his wife.
I'm gonna choose to interpret that like a Gwen and the Green Knight situation. That's what I'm gonna choose to go with.
Historians called them best friends.
And historians would call them close friends, besties, roommates, colleagues, anything but lovers. History hates lovers. Okay. I like it. Picasso.
So, Chen Gong. Fun fact, Chen Gong was given a design long before FGO. He actually appears to Lu Bu and Extella with his full design around 2 to 3 years before he appeared as an NPC in FGO, and 4 years before he finally became playable. Chen Gong is deeply loyal to Lu Bu and is working tirelessly to keep Red Hare humbled in his place, but holds respect for the horse as well.
Wait, but like genuinely is loyal to Lu Bu?
Genuinely.
Okay, so this is definitely going towards Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Maybe this is the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Knick-Knack. Maybe it was gay all along.
Maybe Chen Gong was actually...
It's like the devil and angel on his shoulder. His wife and Chen Gong. And they look alike enough that he doesn't care. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm making terrible jokes about this.
And so am I.
Alright, my invincible lord. I didn't imagine the flying general to also be here. He is the very epitome of terror. I so very much want Lord Lu Bu to wreak havoc. I cannot contain myself. If General Liu happens to desire such things, then it cannot be helped, you know? Well, humans will lose someday, and that day was today. That is the story when General Liu desires something. This does seem vaguely homoerotic. Actually, let me rephrase that. This does seem homoerotic. I didn't need the vaguely. I didn't think Red Hare counted as a heroic spirit. No, I do admit that 30% of Lord Lu Bu's success happened thanks to Red Hare. I do understand, but why does that horse think he is Lu Bu? Well, depending on how you look at it, that thing can even look like Lord Lu Bu. As one would expect, the anecdotes of the flying general under heaven are profound. As long as you can even self-destruct for me, yes, I do not in the least care about anything else then.
Can we just say Lu Bu Berserker by Icon?
Yeah. Lu Bu Berserker by Icon. Hey, it's the month for it!
For us, yeah.
Not for you guys when this goes up, but
No.
for us! Zhuge Liang is merely a strategist who is blessed with good battles. He has no eye for people, and he never had any disciples. He's just a monster of internal affairs. He's the very example of how troublesome it is for someone whose talents stand out only during his time. Yeah, because Zhuge Liang and Sima Yi also are involved in the Tale of the Three Kingdoms. Sima Yi, the one who is probably the most successful among all of us strategists. I hate to admit it, but even I cannot nitpick at their accomplishments. But to be manifested as a pseudo-servant in the guise of a beautiful girl, it will be quite challenging to ask her for advice. Well, if I was still alive back then, I might have criticized him by saying, it is difficult to approach him because that flawlessness of his which surpasses Zhuge Liang is too impeccable. But, goodness gracious, for him to select a good-looking girl as his vessel is something unexpected. Even if it was for fun, I am completely defeated already. He is surely impregnable, I tell you.
Look at this. In the throes of madness, his mind drifted to Chen Gong.
Excuse me for my, I have an exclamation here that is contemporary to when we were recording this and the video, but gay! I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm here for it. I'm not wrong.
So Chen Gong is an extremely capable tactician servant, capable of using magecraft and a variety of arms, often conjured and controlled with magecraft. In a do-or-die situation, he's even more capable than Zhuge. He is especially capable in commanding brutes like Lu Bu and other berserkers. But a huge cornerstone of his strategy is scapegoating. If you are not him or his lord, you are a disposable pawn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can admire that. Two-pronged formation. I bet I know something else that has two prongs.
So, here's everyone's favorite part of Chen Gong. His noble phantasm. The Castoria automated Blackbeard.
What? I'm sorry, did I just hear Castoria automated Blackbeard?
Yes. So jokes aside, the way this works is he uses a mini recreation of Godforce to fire a powerful explosive arrow that is devastating to its target. Thing is, it is fired by sacrificing the life of an ally. So, as you'd imagine, this results in players firing either their support servants freshly out of buffs to make room for another one to arrive from the backline, or alternatively, you just finally have a use for that one servant you hate with a burning fucking passion.
I finally have a reason to put Caesar on my... Wait, actually, low-key...
And Castoria just lets him, spam that.
So, like, low-key what this means is I really need to level up my Chen Gong.
Yeah.
Because this sounds great. Oh my fucking god.
People also call him the Machine Gong. The tactical Columbus missile.
I would like to make the comment that Arco Wada here says, I decided on making him sexy, given that I was given a specification in designing him as though he were a fiendish strategist with glasses. It's my own view of the specification given to me. During his FGO, finding out that he was really that kind of character was so unthinkable to me. I laughed very hard. So much. And because of that, I laughed just as hard when I actually gave him a try in-game. Thank you, Arco Wada. You do a service for all of us. Truly. This is a service you do for us, and we appreciate it. Because I agree. Oh, it's just Yubu. He just summons his boyfriend. He just summons his boyfriend.
He launched at the exact same time as playable Jason, by the way, who also summons his boyfriend.
I was gonna say they're the same. Oh my god. There is nothing gayer than an animated game representing two people as boyfriends 2,000 years later.
The battery.
Also, the trebuchet earlier. It's like half of the fucking siege of Pelennor Fields. Fire. It gets funnier every time. This is the gayest timeline. This is gayer than Enkidu and Gilgamesh. This is gayer than Gwaine and the Green Knight. All I need now is Irani as a playable servant.
And she probably would
and
end
to
up
put
as
them on a
pseudo
team
for,
together.
She probably would end up as a pseudo for, what's her name?
Yeah.
Yao-Chan.
Yeah, and to put them on a team together. I would keep that as a team.
Look, we're never told. We never get a name in history or in Romance of the Three Kingdoms for Lu Bu's other wife.
Lady Yan.
Other than Lady Yan.
Oh, the second one, yeah.
Just saying. Maybe it wasn't a wife.
Maybe it was a hobby. My fucking god.
See, he killed Georgios.
He did. Aww. That was great. Okay, I have 3. I'm gonna move them together so I can see them. Alright. Gallery. The lion face is somehow the funniest part of this. Oh. Yeah, I believe he's catching. I'm not sure I'd want to face him on a soccer field. And I don't know if that's something I'd want to do, you know?
Yeah.
Mr. Tiger Man. Oh, it does look very Saiyan. Yeah. Yeah, it does look very Saiyan. I love it. I love it. Oh, there's some extra stuff. Oh. Wait, actually, why is that so funny? Oh my god. Oh, look at that. It's Ashwathama.
Yep.
And Bartholomew Roberts.
Yep.
I'm glad I got those.
I actually knew you got it right because I read the cover.
Oh. Oh, there he is on his horse.
And look who's next to him.
Oh.
That actually might be everyone. No, nope. There's still one more.
I'm still missing.
Yeah, you're
this
just
guy.
missing him.
Have I done everyone else?
Yeah, it's just that last one.
Oh, yeah, because that's okay. So yeah, just the
I'm going
one.
to spoil it. We live streamed that one.
Yeah, no, I remember. Which that video is coming up.
I mean, not that we're worried about spoilers for that one.
No. Oh, okay. I have just a couple. Oi.
Where is he?
He's the horse that Xuanzang Sanzang is riding. He's the horse. He's wearing a horse head. Do you know what this reminds me of? You know when Lucy summons Sagittarius in Fairy Tale?
For men, Lubu. For steeds, Lubu.
Oh. Her goal is India. Far to the west, it may be a difficult journey full of hardships, but with the power of Buddha at her side, nothing can stop her. Crossing fields, mountains, and valleys, off she goes on her journeys. They censored it in China. Little less booby. Yep, Xuanzang Sanzang, Lubu Feng Xian, and the male master. The horse that Xuanzang is riding is named the White Dragon Horse. Okay. And it's being portrayed by Lubu. Oh, interesting. The male master. Oh, the male master's dressed as the Monkey King with his staff. Yep. Yeah. The column. That's cute. I like it. Heaven Scorcher Halberd. I know it's a little late, but still let me explain. The Heaven Scorcher Halberd is General Liu's only partner and what makes him special. It is truly a masterpiece and the only thing that was allowed in his heart, the heart of a man who claimed he needed no friend and no comrade. Slash, thrust, strike, sweep, repel. The weapon utilizes all qualities that you can find in a two-handed weapon, an almighty and all-purpose weapon, if I may say so myself. Many people may say, well, isn't that because the general wasn't skilled enough to switch weapons depending on the ever-changing battlefield? I say to those people, you are just jealous of the general's talent in martial arts. The simple truth is, if he has the time to switch weapons, he might as well use that time to destroy more enemies. Isn't that a form of courage that's worthy of his nickname, the Flying General? Well, this weapon actually originated from the Northern Song dynasty, and it shouldn't exist in a time when Liu Bu was alive. Then why is he holding that weapon, you ask? That's because I went ahead before its time and secretly developed the weapon. Feng Xian Chen, the Heavenly Halberd. Okay. And the man narrating is Chen Gong. Interesting.
Chen Gong is very familiar with Lu Bu's spear.
He really is. He's very familiar with Lu Bu's weapon. Celebration decorations. It was something Lu Bu held on to for a long time, but he has forgotten why he did so. It seems it's like a bridal headpiece. Remember how Lu Bu wears a gold headpiece in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms? Maybe that's because Lu Bu is the bride.
Lu Bu was the second wife all along.
Lu Bu was the second. This was his bridal headpiece that he wore all the time. Oh, we have issues.
The second wife was the male lovers we made along the way.
With only seconds left, the final shot to win the game is released as the referee's whistle echoes across the court. I am always angry in battle, but watch me, master. I will win a righteous victory. The red team's name is 3 Knights, while the blues is 4 Cavalries, indicating it's a game between Saber Archer Lancer and Rider Caster Assassin Berserker. And there's some concept art. I'm a little sad that it doesn't include Liu Bu, so it's just Ashvathama and Bartholomew Roberts, but still. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get this reference. The 3 Knights and the 4 Cavalries. Although I didn't think... Okay, so they're lumping Berserker in with the cavalry classes, even though Berserker's not.
Well, Bartholomew Roberts is also a rider servant.
Yeah, but they're saying 3 Knight classes, Saber, Archer, Lancer, 4 cavalry classes, Rider, Caster, Assassin, Berserker.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they're lumping
right.
Berserker in when he's normally outside of that triangle.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
He's normally... He is, like, lore-wise considered part of the cavalry, but it's not quite the same. Not in F2 especially.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Fortress of the Swords. Ooh, look at that. Is that Xiang Yu? That's
yes.
Xiang Yu.
That's Xiang Yu.
Like traditional inspired paint. That's really pretty. I really like that. Here at a zenith beyond the reach of ordinary people, sharp blades dance gracefully, and majestic lances strike at lightning speed. There is no defense, only offense, all advantage, no downside. Little wonder, then, that neither side is giving so much as a centimeter in this unparalleled spectacle. Even the moon, tired of looking down, cannot help but yawn, a yawn that quickly vanishes amidst the endless echoes of blades clashing. Interesting. That actually looks really nice. I think that's really beautifully done.
Speaking of beautifully done.
I disagree. He looks like a corgi! Does he not look like a corgi? I can't fucking deal with this. This is bullshit. Okay. There's no extra art. Alright.
They look feet.
Yes.
Hooves.
Shut the fuck up. Loki! No! Stop it.
Lord cat.
Magnificent manger. That is a very fancy carrot bowl.
That's a very fancy carrot bowl.
Behold how they brightly shine. A wonderful combination of carrots and fodder in a bucket. Ah yes, there is no doubt this is the object lauded as the Holy Grail. It is truly beautiful. Ah, so beautiful. Beautiful. So delightful. Delight. Delicious. I'm not. Apologies. Allow me to try again. Now come, my loving master. There's no need to hold back. Please take a bite from the glorious feed trough, filled with carrots and fodder. Oh, you do not care for fodder? Then at least nibble on a carrot. Respectfully, I'm gonna turn you down on that one.
See, now I need to be here for the entirety of your Lost Belt 3 playthrough. So whenever red hair appears on the screen, because you're never going to read those
I'm
names.
never going to do it. Carrots with a vivid color and shine. They're truly superb produce harvested from an underground facility. They're packed with nutrients and totally delicious. It appears you can take them up to the kitchen and have them prepared. The dish will differ depending on which servant cooks it, so it's a good idea to try several times. I actually really love carrots. Like, they're one of my favorite vegetables. And I remember, like, as a kid, my grandparents grew carrots. They still do, but we could go pick them from the garden, and we just kind of, like, wash them off in the well and, like, eat them as is. But you can also, like, carrot juice is actually fucking delicious. I remember, like, Grandma would, like, juice the carrots for me sometimes, and I absolutely adore it. So I actually wouldn't be upset about a Valentine's return gift of just, like, a ton of really good carrots. Oh my god! Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
The greatest of fishes. Red hair.
Ladies and gentlemen, the people's wishes are all here. It's time to begin the greatest show. Your guide is Napoleon, a man of many possibilities and a legendary dragon hunter. Outside, the self-proclaimed flying general, more wacky and incomprehensible than Marengo, is able to swim due to his interpretation that the ocean is like the grasslands. Now see here, a never-before-seen experience awaits you all. After all, the word impossible doesn't seem to exist in my dictionary. The sea of grasses, apparently. Chaldean Park Caravan? Is that him? I think that's him.
That's him.
That's him.
That's him.
That's him? Yeah, that's him. We've seen this before, so I'm gonna... Alright, we did get a heroic spirit dream portrait. Regular Lubu didn't get that.
What are you talking about? He is Lubu.
It's set in Avalon LaFay. This is a lie. Alright, Chen Gong. Finally, some good fucking shit. That is a chiseled ass square face. Is that a carrot?
That's a carrot.
Oh yeah. It's a fucking carrot. What the fucking carrot? Why is there a fucking carrot? Oh, we have a... Oh, we saw this one before. Because I know everyone in it now. It's the kids. And Chen Gong. And then obviously, Chen Gong. Any updates on what the timeline is before we do this person?
He's on the schedule, I'm pretty sure.
Well, almost everyone's on the schedule at this point. I do think it's funny that we're still waiting on a person here.
See, that might be because he's one of the ones I'm least worried about you spoiling for yourself.
Haven't I already seen him?
You've seen him around.
Yeah.
But he's not a historical figure you've probably talked about that much, so you'd slip your memory easily. And the amount of alternate forms he has is staggering.
Alright, spring viewing. I perhaps won't make it until spring. That was what the strategist whispered during the long-lasting siege. And the man smiled gently, an unthinkable moment coming from a man known to be cruel, ruthless, and merciless. Death was obviously waiting for the defeated strategist, and yet the man had neither regret nor fear. He did feel frustrated, though. Death was also imminent to the man he revered as his lord, and even that didn't pain him. He did feel guilty, though. The soldiers under his command would likely serve this and reorganize themselves. That wasn't a gratifying thought. They will probably be reassigned to a different battle where they would be sure to die. The families who were summoned to T.H.E castle, well, they will just have to hope that the leaders of the opposing camp are virtuous ones. In other words, their fates are well out of the human strategist's hands. All of a sudden, everything seems nostalgic to him. He carried on with an ambitious heart, lived through battles, and conversed about his many dreams. Everything appears as a mirage, with glimpses of the end peeking through. What the man saw at the very end was not the battlefield, but instead a spring banquet. Turns out he didn't know as much about himself as he thought. Xia Dynasty's universal fountain pen and wooden writing strips. A gift from Chen Gong. An explanation is in order. Any high-precision destructible weapon has a safety device installed to trigger an emergency shutdown in case it should go berserk. But if someone can purposefully trigger the safety device to intentionally cause it to malfunction, then they would be invincible in modern warfare. At least that's what the inhumane intent for this Xia Dynasty's all-purpose fountain pen the genius tactician has concocted. The item also secretly functions as a gift when someone reaches adulthood, making it perfect. They say you make 7 enemies when you go out into the world, and so self-defense is a must for your development. The wooden tablets, they're just an added bonus. There's no particular lesson on them that would be instantly effective anyways, but maybe reading them would be a good way to kill time. There can be no doubt as to which is the more important gift. God's deal. This is the young boy's goal was to defeat the most sinister card master. They carry their bravery in their heart and put their hopes in the hands they are dealt. Card set, let's go, Apollo. That's a good hand. This is getting interesting. Don't expect me to let my guard down. Will the young boys be able to overcome the many strategies Mr. Catapult employs to block their efforts to obtain the Master Badge? Do you think my strategy cruel? Make no mistake, it is a necessary sacrifice. Reminds me a little bit of OG Yu-Gi-Oh!
So what you're saying here is that Chen Gong is Seto Kaiba.
No. The long silver-haired dude who runs the Duelist Island.
I don't know. I've never watched all of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Pegasus.
I remember Duelist Island. But that was like right where I fell off.
His name is Pegasus, but he's the villain behind it. Okay. Turning of the Tides. Ooh. Oh, my man. It's my man. Honestly, it's both my men. They're both ridiculously attractive. This is a win for me. This is beautiful. I am here for this. If one considers even freezing cold days as moments of contemplation with which to better rack one's brains, strengthen one's strategy, and plan one's next move, then they become times to be welcomed rather than endured. Now come and let us wait for the plum seams to show and the new sprouts to blossom with life. Indeed, quiet times like these are precisely what brings tacticians the most joy. And I get a full body! I am eating so well. This is stunning. This is going to become like a phone background or something for me at some point. I'm sure of it. This is beautiful. Tiger hunting! Do I know the person in front? I don't think I do.
That's Lon Ling.
Is it? It is, but do I know what that is?
No, neither do I.
Oh, it's a reference to Water Margin, which is one of the other 4 Chinese classics. Okay, so it is Lan Ling. It is necessary to possess reasonable capacity and power, whether leading or following. Being a leader cannot be accomplished if one simply mimics strength. True glory only comes through tireless devotion practiced on a daily basis. However, be mindful to keep your eyes open, for you do not want to be manipulated by a silver tongue and become a laughingstock. So yeah, it's based on Water Margin.
We have like 3 or 4 Water Margin characters, and we haven't done a single one yet.
Yeah. Which is actually kind of disappointing. Actually, no. It means that when we get to them, we can have a very fun water margin month. Hopefully.
One might be on the schedule, so...
Yeah, well, then we can group them together and make a water margin month. That's it.
Yeah?
That's it.
No, we've technically done a water margin character, technically. Nine-tailed Dragon Eliza was like
yeah,
water margin
but... yeah. Anyways...
Who's next? I already started. Oh, yeah. You see, I need to start paying attention more. I clearly don't listen. I might as well cut off my ears at this point.
You only really need to lose one. It's fine. We'll save the other one for a later offense. See you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe.
Sunflower.
Oh my god. How many? 13?